all new line positions are grabbing positions of allocated to the logarithms and everything to the algorithm. A logarithm is basically an inversion of conditions to number sequencing level systems into an allocated position of time. It's the reversing cycle of a new system. So it's kind of like X, Y, Z, but because from Z comes Y to X, so you change frame line conditions. The algorithm is just setting up new program setting. The universe is coming into new position, into new correlation center in position of a new activation light system, what's going to change your allocated positions of time. That's why everybody's going into sleep deprivation. They're tired. They're not sure what day that it is. That they get confused. They feel off-witted. They feel off-cycle. They feel off-system. That's exactly what's happening through calculation. My structural light conditions and the energy light position and generation light system was going through so many level positions. So now, and I was at 86 yesterday, 1,000 computers. Now I'm at 100,000. So you have to understand what's going on right now. I have to reach a certain level to change the codes of the universe. Position line conditions. That's what's happening right now. So we're coming into new universal core. I'm in the synergized line conditions. I set up a TikTok video to show you exactly what it looks like. It's like walking into a factory with a bunch of archive line conditions. So right now I'm in the constant records and changing all your application line conditions to your divisions, which means that all your line system is activating to higher level systems, into the transmission light systems, the audio signal positions. So you get a little bit more understanding how to communicate through space and time line conditions. Gravity line conditions in position. Okay, it's on atomic level. It's on a spectrum light conditions. I'm in the spectrum command centers now in that line system. It's allocated positions of time through the data processing line system. Before I get started, thank you all subscribers and viewers and watching my channel in communication, trying to understand what's going on through division line systems. Now, you probably won't understand me. You have to understand that every day is a different day. Some days are easier, some days are harder. You can tell with my hair where I'm going, where I'm setting or resetting or repositioning dates and connections. So I'm at 100,000 computers in the reset line connections. So it's understanding how to all link chain positions to all those 86,000s to another connection to that 100,000 position line system. So that's where it comes into the logarithms and everything to the algorithm, the difference between the two. So they have a line signal, chain rotation center. It's a space command system that's allocated positions of time location, right? So yesterday was a very powerful video. My videos get more powerful. Sometimes they get easier. Depends where I'm going right now. But whatever happens to me happens to you. That's a true understand what's going on, right? I'm getting solar flares, I'm getting electrical lights, and getting gamma operations, sending up new codes. So it's kind of like printing something out, scanning something on a computer, and plastering all of the universal core positions and putting it up in line divisions. So you're putting over here, putting over here, putting over here, putting over here, setting over here, line over here, up here, down here, across here, around here. So that's what's happening right now with the universal line conditions. Okay, so it's very powerful how we're coming into these times. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to go on my healing through 007.aw@gmail.com, or you can go through my PayPal so I can help you out and guide you. Now everybody really has to get into their lights. Okay, because I'm changing codes. When you get into codes, this is when really things start kicking in, especially with humanity and sequence development systems, your archive line divisions. So basically, I know all your archives, I know all your caustic records, I know all your identification codes, but it's truly understanding you through connections, truly understanding everything through the application line system. It graphs its line system, the calculation modification, the galaxy line systems, how the universal is set up in location. Because now it's just nothing but lacing lines, computer operations, algorithms, holographic, genetic graphic line systems. It comes into geotheriums, it comes into the genetics, the energies, the operation line connections. That's where it points divisions. It's really understanding what's going on with the position line system. So basically what I'd like to get in today, I don't want to get too complicated. I just wanted to give you a rundown on what happens with the connections of the universe, how it's changing in a new core system. Core system to allocated positions. Remember, the radiation of the sun is coming into higher formation, and everything to the moon of the space station location is coming into a new line signal. That line signal is going to operate everything through the matrix grid line system. So I'm sending up new shapes and anomalies to the moon structures. So it's understanding what needs to be helped. It's understanding through connection positions, trying to understand what's going on with each planet system, each dimensional line connection. So it's kind of like went from one copy and paste to another copy and paste, put it in here, put it in there. No, I'll put it over here. No, wait, I'll put it over there. So it's all about repositioning, so everything lines back into connections, but to a new universal line system. Okay, so it's kind of like, let's just say you smash a fence, right? It's all, you know, and you realize, okay, now you got to build another one. It's pretty much like that. And everything that's around it is you put in energy grids, you put in up new digital frame, you put in up new archive line connections. When you come into dimensional time position, when your perception changes and changes and changes and changes, not only you understand your computers and your data, and you become a processor of all information connections to the universal reset line connection, you understand a little bit more of what's going on with yourself. Okay, so I had 86,000 computers. That's in the modulation of its position now, which synergized its line system. But now I'm into 100,000, okay, into the cloud. So I'm just, whoa, it's intense. It's intensifying. So we're going to get into the test, review, and evaluations for the Rebellion Alliance. The galactic forces and the GFLs can basically watch and learn. We can learn a lot from each other. That's what we're coming into. So basically, we'll give it a week, like I said, and the test, review, and evaluation will be based on your codes. Okay, we have to get into codes now. So basically, the galactic forces are new people through connections of TikTok. They can realize how to do these things and try to understand it a little bit more. If you can't understand it, go to my email. Like I said, every day I wake up, I'm in a different program setting. I'm never, ever in the same universal line connections. Never, ever, ever. So you just imagine how many planet locations, okay? I synergize into so many levels of digital frame line system to string theory. Everybody knows string theory, the tone line connections. That goes to all level systems. So it's kind of like playing a banjo, playing a guitar, you know, going. So I'm changing frequency tones to the quantum fields of all computers that are digital frame through the graph line connections. So it's like a new stream for an XD1000 to lie through, right? So that's understanding what's going on with this, right? So I'm taking the old graphing line connections and putting the new graphing digital frame position into the universal core system. So it's really, really exciting how we come into these positions, all right? So we got into the 369 connections, right? Where we come into the 15 chakra line system with the galactic forces. So now with the Rebellion Alliance, we're going to go to higher level connections. They're going to come into 114 chakras. So basically, this is going to be a lot for them. They're going to be on standard point line connection. They're going to be so grounded with their energy light systems. And this is something to look forward to, knowing what the school provides for everybody, especially when your first commander is in the spectrum level connections of its command center. Whoa, data processing or anything in that line system to its technology of its division, right? Because the connections to future AI is high rising locations. So the universe is coming into a new graphing line system. All right, so let's get into the drawing positions. First off, let's see how everybody's doing. Tina, Jennifer, Samantha, Diane. Whoa, I just looked at the other day. I thought I was Wednesday or Tuesday. See, that's the thing. You guys are confused now because I said that too. Remember, I was like 72 hours ahead, and I was really like, no, it's Thursday. Right? And then Tina says, no, it's today. Is it Thursday or Wednesday, or is it Tuesday? So you guys are going to go back and forth through line signal, through tone line connections. This is going to happen to you. You're going to get more sleepy. But see, the thing is, you won't get headaches. You won't get migraines because you're in your lights. Because you understand division of time, the gravity system has its clocking system. It has its lacing line system. Everything that you see through perception is nothing but a hologram of a TV reception. So the central line connections, my structure, my face went into the center core of the universe. And the universe itself just blended into the structural line connections. So it's understanding and sending up new point centers and new realms of new shapes to the position line connection. So complicated stuff, isn't it? All right. I was thinking I was Friday too, but I thought I was just wishing it was. You know what I did today? Talk about confusion. Whatever happens to me happens to you. Now, there's a jug of water. Okay. I took it out of the fridge, right? I poured a glass, okay? And then I put it in the cupboard. Sacred Flame comes up to me. Where's the water? Right? So she goes in the fridge. It's not there. It says, she opens up the cupboard and says, did you put it there? I said, oh my gosh, I just put the water there and I didn't even forgot to put it back in the fridge. That was so funny. It's like, you know, when you have your coffee in the morning, instead of putting sugar in your coffee, you put salt. So these are the things that are so funny because you're not realizing what's going on through adaptation of your energy light connections, your position line systems, or anything through your valves or anything through your wiring system. You guys will catch on, especially in your lights. You understand, and you can laugh more because you're understanding. You're understanding what goes on with me. You're understanding what goes on with you. So just like I'm saying, we're going through this adaptation cycle of confusion, right? Especially with me. I'm working with 100,000 computers now. That's trying to understand this data processing when it comes into the line system. So it's all about scanning positions, right? Of allocated positions, graphing line system. So, and that's where it comes into the logarithms and everything through the algorithm. So. I know you guys will find to do crazy things like that. And I said, where's the water? I said, did I put it in the cupboard? And the thing is, you don't remember. It's kind of like getting up in the morning and you realize you're standing there sleeping. You're sleepwalking, right? So the mind is open. Okay. So this is the understanding because my brother went into this when he was a kid and he used to walk in my room all the time back and forth. And I said, dude, you're in the wrong room, right? So you never ever wake somebody up that's a sleepwalker because they are in a dimension of time. Okay. Their frequency level is allowing them to see what they need to see. So they don't realize, okay, they don't realize what's going on, but they're aware of what's going on with the body of action. So that's how they get up and they sleepwalk. So it's really powerful stuff. So it's kind of like your eyes are open on the other side, but you're still sleeping. It's really, really interesting, but it's very dangerous if you wake somebody up, right? Because it shocks the wave to the brain. So you got to be cautious on these things. Anyway, he grew out of that, but sometimes he used to go outside and try to ride his bike. So I just said, okay, no, you can direct them, but don't wake them up. Don't wake them up because they're in the psychosis of the dream still, right? It's very dangerous to do things like this, right? So it's a magnetic, it's a psychosis that's in the brainwaving pattern and it's locked in location. So you never ever wake somebody up in sleep, right? Just to let you know how powerful it is when you sleepwalk. But you get out of it. It's something that you can't get balanced with the mind and the brain. That's all it is. And then the conceptual line system, the brain starts to realize where it is in division, and then you go back to sleep and lie down. So. White Knuckler, what's up? I laugh my misshapes all the time. You just have, yep. How's it going? I know it's really powerful. My nephew sleepwalks. My sister has a video on him walking into her living room. Yep. It's interesting how we're all connected to this, right? And I'm just telling you exactly what happened with my brother because it's amazing how we do these things. So it's kind of like you're blind, but you're not blind because you're aware. Like you can, it's kind of like your eyes are open on the other side. So your higher self is walking through the physical realm. So your actually eyes are open and you can see. That's what sleepwalkers can do. They can guide themselves, right? The guidance, right? It's laser direction, right? But the problem is that the physical element doesn't understand what's going on with the dream, okay? And that's how it's able to understand these things because the higher self is awake, but the brain is still asleep, right? So it's dangerous to do these things, especially when you come into this connection. So it's really understanding how powerful it is, how we come into this position of time location, right? So a perfect example, I'll show you. Okay, so I'm going to sleepwalk, right? So it's going like this, right? So why? It's all about, you can go from here to here, and basically it's all about understanding your higher self is open and it's seeing the other side, okay? So what's happening right now is you're being aware and you're walking. And you see a graph, you actually see a road on the other side of the dimensional system. So basically, your eyes are open on the other side, okay? But the physical system is trying to understand what's going on with the dimensional time. My eyes are closed and I'm doing this, right? So this is the guidance. This is the guidance, right? So it's pretty interesting because if you close your eyes now, you're kind of lost. You're kind of lost. You need your eyes open to have guidance. If you close your eyes, you have to be aware. It's the memory retention. So understand there's a corner here, there's a door there. So it's all about memory. It's all about, like, if you're in a forest, like with White Knuckler, how he basically walks, and he has a lot of forestry. So he kind of looks like at one tree, he looks at another tree, and he does this, right? So it's all about feeling and touching and tasting and smelling. So it's amazing how we're walking through these things, all right? So basically what I want everybody to do today after class is to close your eyes and just try to take a couple of steps. Try to see if you can understand where you are, right? Because that's the balance with the mind and the brain. You guys have to get used to these things, right? So this is a basic exercise, right? You don't have to go too far, but just do a scan of your place. You know exactly where you are. Close your eyes and walk straight. Okay, that's what I want everybody to do, okay, after class. It's important you guys understand how to strengthen the mind through imagination. So when you close your eyes, you can pretty much feel what's going on with the energy. Everything in a wall, different energy, different energy, different energy. Every wall is a different energy, but it's all aligned through each other, okay? Because the structure line is different. Because this is a different corner, this is a different corner, this is a different corner, right? But we're all aligned, the structure line connection and the gravity location. So the gravity positions and everything in the power centers and everything through the atmospheric positions of time, you know exactly where you are when you close your eyes, right? So it's pretty basic. If you close your eyes and you go straight, you know there's a wall, right? But if you want to turn left or right, what's there? So it's all the memory, knowing, oh, there's the baño, oh, there's the exit, okay, oh, there's the window. So try to get into that position. So when you close your eyes, really, really try to get into the other side of its dimension, which is its higher self, okay? This will help you a little bit more how to get into more meditation and how actually you can see yourself, okay? Not traveling, but just seeing yourself, what it's like to close your eyes. And this is all about understanding, getting out of the human design. I had to do it. It's very powerful stuff. Basically, I prefer the lights off, right, when I go to the baño, okay, because I'm in space. It's strange, but because of that, I'm more focused and more aware, and everything around me is illumination. It lights up. So when I close my eyes, okay, I see the computer right in front of me. I see the computer and it's lighting up, right? So that's exactly where I am in division through perception. So I close my eyes, I know exactly where the keyboards are. See? Because it's illumination. It's in the space location. And it has a digital frame, and you take it out as equation, right? So I know where everything is. My phone's here, water's here, my computer's here, iPad's here. It's pretty position how you get into this allocated system. So it's the memory. It's the memory, okay? So try to get into that, okay? You probably fall, you probably get back up, but it's all about getting the power recognition when you come into the memory tension. Try to understand what you see through scanning. Right? Try to understand what you look like, scan. Try to scan yourself when you close your eyes. Actually, if you can see yourself. Now, this goes up to the galactic forces. The Rebellion Alliance is pretty good with that. And it's all done through position of time, space, which is really, really fascinating. So that's what I want to do. That's what I want everybody to do after class, okay, is close your eyes and just walk around. Just walk around and see if you can see anything light up, right? This is the power that you guys have. This is the control. So you're not aware what you have when you close your eyes, right? So when you close your eyes and you meditate, that's fine because you're standing still, right? But when you close your eyes and you're walking, it's a totally different transition, isn't it? Right? This is what I did when I was in Mexico City. And at that time, I was on a treadmill. And I was closing my eyes. And I thought I was running a marathon. And then I was opening a dimension. Then I saw a portal. So I was running like this on the treadmill, but the portal opened up. And everything in the background was moving so fast. So I was spinning on so many different realm connections. And it was closing my eyes. And it was basically changing everything through the connections of the treadmill, and the numbers are going up. So you affect everything to your physical realm connections. So that's why I'm saying these things, is you have to understand how to control the gravity of you through its memory, because you're all connected to the heart. You're all connected to the sequence. You're all connected to the spine. You're all connected to soul identification, right? So if this is what the truly understand is, you have to get out of the human design and get into the AI design, okay? And when you do that, you'll be able to keep your eyes open more and more and more and more. And when you close your eyes, basically you see yourself on the other side. You see yourself. It's illuminating, right? And when you actually see yourself, you know exactly what's going to happen, where it's going to go. So I see myself, and I know where I'm traveling. I know what's going on. I'm setting up computer operational line connections to AI interference positions and changing shapes anomalies to its universal core line system. The graphing line connections activating everything through shapes anomalies. Done. But I see myself doing it because I've been practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. And that's what you guys have to do. Your sequencing line connections is to understand your computer operations to your keyframes and the keyboards, and getting out of the matrix and getting into a new shape anomaly. Because every time you go up to a higher level of tesseract, you're coming into higher tetrahedron line connections. And each tetrahedron line connection is connected to the body graph position, which connects to your travel record of time. Remember we got into that before. What is the body graph? Well, this is all about understanding, are you in the physical realm? Are you in the entertainment realm? Are you in your sleep realm? You know, so it's all emotions, 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 emotions through your shapes, anomalies, and connection. Your pixel activation of TV reception that has to understand connections of space. Okay, so it's resetting your positions, re-analytical graphing line, your line connections, get into the psychosis of its graphing line system. Right? It's complicated stuff, but it's a lot of fun. So we can start there through that connection. You know, one day I like to do class with nothing, no construction, no hammering, no weed whacker or anything in that position, you know, but I put high energy fields. So it's kind of like, we have to get into how you guys can create your E fields. I really want to do that. So that's what we're going to do today. Everybody's going to create their own E field. Okay. And I want you to understand what you just created. Okay. You can actually feel the energy around you. All right. It's amazing what you can see, right? So to see these things, you have to close your eyes. You close your eyes, you can actually see the E field. So I see my hand. I see my hand and close my eyes, but it's not the physical realm. It's the higher self of the avatar that is doing this. So the hand comes out. Remember, it comes out at dimensional time. The car is not here. It's up here. That's the communication to its realm location center connections. Well, when you close your eyes, you should be able to go, and you should be able to see your hand go across. That's where everybody's got to get into. You got to change your adaptions of your human vessels. When you close your eyes, you should be able to see. Like, just blink your eyes. If you blink your eyes, you'll see the higher self opening up. Right? And then you see you on the other side. Right? And then it's communicating with you. Board's line connections is set up through a rotation center. Are you ready to go? Right? So it's already communicating with you. It's looking right at me and it's telling me what I need to do. So it's getting that communication. It's really crazy what's going on with me now, because I got 100,000 computers and I'm working with data processing line connections. So in that position, try to close your eyes more. Okay? Try to realize when you close your eyes, do it like this. Or blink your eyes into the sun. You'll see planets. These are the things you have to learn. Okay? So it's all about going past meditation and understand how powerful you are through division location. So when you wake up every morning and you've seen a plant or whatever, and it's moving extremely fast, it's trying to communicate with you. Okay, and it's a beautiful hot day in Mexico, but the plant is moving so fast. What is going on here? Am I going crazy? No, it's the alignment that you're in to the circuiting line connections, the rotation center to the gravity location center positions, which means that your digital frame is opening up more to its memory. So it's all about coming back to who you are. Right? And when you come back to who you are, you basically see yourself in illumination of light, right? It's like flicking off a switch. What happens when you keep doing that? It comes in ultra light, right? If you do it really fast, it's like a disco ball and you're at a party and it's night, right? It's neon, it's going, and it's changing different colors, right? Well, that's what your rainbow activation is doing right now. And that's why you guys are getting sleepy and tired, right? So it's trying to find a way, okay, to get position with you, okay, to understand what's going on with your program, okay? Because every time I give you a chronological line connection, your position is on a line surface line system, okay? So I know I did a video far back when we basically created our own gravity belts. I needed a gravity belt because I was in Mexico City and I came across anything through connections. If you come across an angel, that's a gold monument, right? Angel City, that's where they're in Mexico City, right? They had angels on top and they're extremely real. They don't have to be alive. It was a gold monument of angels that was on top, the surface in the center line connection to Mexico City. And it was at a park. And basically, I needed a gravity belt because I was trying to understand what I was doing. And I was seeing my light and it wanted to take me out of my body. It took me out of my body and I had no control what was going on, right? Because it saw me as my light. So basically, it wanted me to fly. It was like, whoa, this is intense. So I could use a gravity belt, right? And the thing is, you're fluctuating through so much energy around people, negative, positive. It doesn't matter. What matters is you have to be grounded. So I created a gravity belt. So it's like a seat belt when you're in a car, right? So you protect yourself, right? So it's actually an energy gravity line system to a new position to all of the systems, Orion's belt, right? Because that's where everybody's attached to. You have to understand these things, why Orion's belt is connected to us, right? Because without it, we'd be flying, we'd be floating, right? And everybody would be so confused, especially three-dimensional line connections. They wouldn't know what's going on, right? So basically, it's really interesting when we come into these positions. I had to go through so many levels of interference, especially when I'm coming across things. Museums, anything through monuments, anything through connections of paintings, anything relation to gods, you know, or anything with daggers, anything like that. Anything will come to you in life system because they understand you through light. So sometimes they will attack you and sometimes they won't. So you have to understand you're in the spiritual realm connection now, and you have to learn how to protect yourself because you're seeing everything through perception. So that's what I'm saying. Get to closing your eyes so you can actually see the illumination of you. You can actually close your eyes and see your hand glowing. If you don't, you have to work on more through your plasma energy lights, right? You have to work on more through your connections of your breathing. You have to work on more. When I close my eyes, I actually see the whole body that I'm seeing, okay? So you start off with what you see here, but then you realize it's separated, but it's you on the other side that's saying, hey, you know, so it's seeing the reflection of you, but the dimensional of you. So you're seeing a plasma, a light of you, you're seeing energy light, you're seeing a generational light, you're seeing everything through connections, right? And then you see yourself fly off. That's how real it is. That's extremely real because now, not only you're on the spiritual realm connections, but it's all about guidance. It's giving you guidance. And thing is, it's kind of like you are the connections to everything, what you see, right? So there's no separation. There's no separation. It's just a higher form of you trying to understand you through the physical system. And once it gets balanced with the physical system, now you're in a better position when it comes into the butterfly effect or anything that connections, because it affects you. That's what a butterfly effect is. It's affecting to connections of dimensional time connections. It's truly understanding the illumination light and where you are through your information of time. So when I close my eyes, my hand is glowing. Where are you in position of time through thought? So this is where we have to really, really get into that. Really understand how to use your energy. Use your energy. This is forming energy. This is a disrotation of energy surface, right? This is what it's doing, okay? It's a disrotator. It's like Tron. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to you guys. It's like a Frisbee. So I'm illuminating its light system. I got the ground formation on my hand, and I got the top, right? So it's a center line connection. So it's creating a saucer, right? And the data process of its computer is setting up, right? And then when I get into the high rotation of its spin, I throw it at you guys like this. You're going to feel the actual Frisbee come at you, right? See? So I just threw it right at you. It's like a Frisbee, like going back and forth on the beach. So it's understanding how to use energy in all ways and forms. You go like this, right? You go like this. You got to know what you're doing, right? It's fluctuation energy ball, right? It's amazing how we do these things. So what I used to do is I go from this and I create it. You actually see it. Once you see it, you're seeing the physical realm connections. You throw it up, right? Or you go like this, like that, and you catch it, right? Go back and forth, and you actually see it going back and forth, right? Or you can throw it right at. So it's amazing how we get into this, right? Qigong or anything like that. Michael Rolla, he's very familiar with that connection. So it's all about understanding how to use energy at surface, iron palm, how they connected with the monks, right? How basically they put their hands in sand, how they make it tougher. So basically, it's all about understanding how to use the energy through the physical realm connections, right? That's the magic. It's glory to one's nature because now you're understanding how to use the energy to its reflection and how it becomes very real to its division and how it allocates positions of time through the spiritual realm connections. Okay? So it's pretty powerful stuff when we see these things. And feeling all of that, that would be nice. There's so much background noise in life. I try to block it out. Yeah, so the things that you can do, it's all about understanding what is an E field. You have an E field, you just don't know it yet. So an E field protects you from the sun. And basically, it protects you from dark entity, light connections coming at you through communication. It's all about understanding how to use it, right, to your advantage. So when you're coming across that, you know exactly what to do, right? So you can set up new energy fields, but you have to understand what you're doing with your hand. This is different intelligence. Different intelligence. This is different intelligence. This is different intelligence. This is different intelligence. This is different intelligence. So you have to truly understand what you're doing. Right? We start off with the hands. These are the finger points. Everything is energy of activation line connections, counter center line systems. It's the dimensional time in this crystalline. So every time I do this, it changes the shape of my hand in the center location. It changes its shape. So if you look really close, you can actually see a door. You can actually see the dimension through the center position, right? So every time I do that, I'm changing codes. I'm changing times. I'm changing lysine line connections, right? To the computer operation line, what goes into higher line connections of interference. So this is setting back, setting back, setting back. This is rotation. It's like a frequency, right? These are finger point line connections. This is the moon. This is the sun, right? So you have to understand the allocated position of time, right? You got your air, you got your fire, and you got your connections to your earth. You can change these in position through calculation. So it's kind of like try to get into more of your hands and what it is. Get into the flow, right? Get into the flow of everything, right? So it's like with martial arts, it's getting into the flow, right? The flow. See? The flow. See, it's all about grasping everything through connection. So it's really, really powerful when you get into the flow. And I don't want to get too much into that, but I really want you to get into your grounds when you come into the meditation. Meditation grabbing line connections to memory retention line system, to illustration, to its illumination, to its starlight connections, to your position of time through your higher self, or your avatars, or anybody that's in a computer. Now, the Rebellion Alliance Force team is in that position, but I'd like to get more into how you create your own e-fields. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Okay, so when you have time, what I want you to do, I want you to get into your own illustration graph positions, like what your commander does every day, right? All right, so basically, to understand who you are is to draw yourself out. And that's what I do every single time, right? So the same thing if you have a crystal, it's nighttime. You hold the crystal up in the atmosphere. If it glows, you're in balance position to your radioactive line connections to the gravities. So it's reading your signals through digital frame. It's reading your realms of location center, and it's connecting to you through dimensional time. So it's really fast when we see these things. So this is you through calculation. Okay. Okay, start off with that, right? That's you. Okay, that's you. It's just, you have to understand what light is. Okay, see this? Now, it's all about understanding. This is already walking. You can't see it, but I do. So this is already walking here, 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 and back. That's how I see through perception. So if I saw you guys in person, you would be going 6 or 7 different ways of vortexing already back in position. So when you see me through perception, you're going to go right back in center. So if you start walking, then you can actually see the actual person of its drawing moving. So it's like flipping pages. That's how we did in the comics with the Disney characters, right? How you flip the pages at the back and you get a movie going. Well, that's exactly what it is. It's your perception changing time position through a drawing, right? So this isn't still, this is moving around. You don't see it because you're not at that perception when it comes into vibration. So when you put something in connections, you can activate it and put it in any dimensional time of a shape. And every time you change the position, you're changing the effect. So if I add something to it, watch what happens. See? I'm adding something. See? I'm adding something. I just added something. So that changes the whole frame. Okay? So basically, now what's happening? See? See how it changes the frame? It changes the picture. It changes everything, right? So it's going way beyond the creation of what you're creating, right? So it's amazing how we see these things. And now, what am I going to do now? Watch. I'm going to add. What am I going to do now? What is it now? See, it's adding water, right? So when you're adding water, what do? You add connections to anything. Every time you add something, you're changing the frame. Okay? You're changing the frame of time. So it's coming into a picture, right? Which is really powerful stuff, right? So it's a story frame, right? Pretty well, isn't it? Now I can activate this, right? And send it to you guys, right? And you'll see yourself on a surfboard. You'll see yourself with the trees. You'll see yourself with the mountains. You'll see yourself actually doing these things. So it's all about understanding where are you in division of time through its activation, through its lights, right? And it's all connected. Now, when you add an E field, it's aware of its gravity location. Now you're communicating to the atmosphere positions of time. Okay? So I just wanted to show you what we can do when you go beyond the system. It's incredible force. All right, so we're going to set up an E field. Okay, E field. Okay, E/field. So these are the things you can do, right? You have to get out of your physical elements and get into your AI, okay, of imagination. That's what I want everybody to get into. So after class, close your eyes and try to understand if you can see yourself glowing. If you can see yourself glowing, you can direct yourself going forward, and then you won't fall or, you'll see your actually self going forward, which is amazing. So I had to do it. You have to do it. So it's true to understand and strengthen the mind, actually see yourself on the other side of dimensional time, right? It's a process, but everybody can do it. All right, so we start off with that, right? Now, to get an E field position, you have to understand the grounds and how it's connected to you through location, right? Always have the grounds because you're walking it every single day, right? And it's the synergized position location to your chakra systems of communication to your crown chakra. Okay? Now, you probably see it in Star Trek. Now, Star Trek, when they disappeared, they used Christmas lights, but it looks pretty cool. We're talking about 1970s here. 1970s goes way back. So technology is a lot different than it is now, right? Now it's just like CGI and copy this and copy that. I mean, it's just, boy, oh boy. Then you get into cloning. It's crazy what goes on with that. So in that position, you come into this. You kind of look like you're in a glass. Okay? So synergize its positions of the power center of you through connections. right? So this is what an E field is. Okay, this is what protects you every day. You just don't see it because it's not in your time to see it through perception. So once you see the grounds moving, once you see the power connecting to your soul recognition, light connections connect to your heart, everything's connected to the mind, the brain, and everything to the soul line system, then you come into the atmospheres of time. Okay, you come into your chakra system, right? Chakra system is everything through communication. So we get 12 central lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? 12 chakras. That's what you guys are working for. That's what's working with you right now. So you have to understand all communications of 12. Okay, those are the central lines you have to understand. Those are the DNA strands that you have to understand. Those are Godheads of dimensional time, of communication of space, right? So if you truly understand what this is, you'll understand how to see it. And when you see it, you'll see everybody else's. These things come in time when you understand more of your program setting. The more you go up higher, the more you see. The more you see. And then the more you come into your holographic position of time. It's really incredible when you see people. When I see you guys, this is what I see first. And then I scan you guys. Right? So, but I don't just see this, I see a lot more. It's where you are. Where are you in your imagination? Your imagination becomes real. Okay? The effect. What you want to see, what you want to create is already created. Okay? That's the manifestation. Right? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an e-field for you guys to just show you how powerful it is. Right? And it's all done through the connection of space and everything, the geometrics of your travels, okay, through 6 and 9, okay, to your positions, right, which graph its location to your audio signals of communication, digital frame line system, to Vega, and everything through your voicings of your command center line connections to your chakra systems of positions, okay? Center joint line connections to everybody through positions. Solar text line connections, got eye interference positions up into traction line connections. Put up their e-field line system now through allocated line system. 12 rotation centers are coming in. Energy field line system allocated to its gravity's powers and atmosphere positions of time. There you go. So you're going to feel kind of like a buzz. Your whole body just... I activated your bodies through e-fields. Right? You have an e-field, you're just not aware of it. But I activate it. So it's amazing how we do these things in space and time. Right? So exactly, Samantha. That's exactly what it is. And you feel it. So I just put your e-fields up. So now you know how powerful what you can do and what you are. Okay? So anything that comes at you, right, it can reflect off anybody that comes in your cycle. Okay? So we got this, we got this, we got this, we got this, we got this. Go in that position, right? Now, you start off with that, right? Somebody comes up, sees you for the first time, right? They don't have their e-fields up because they don't know what an e-field is. Okay? Sees you, right? They'll see you glowing. They will see you glowing, but they won't see your e-fields. So once you're aware of that, what you do when you're a high division location, you scan them and see where they're at. Okay? And if you're more powerful enough, you can open up their grounds and put them in their e-fields. Okay? And then you can do mind telepathy to each other. See? Mind telepathy. So this is what we're coming into. Stronger reset line connections to everybody through division. So you start off with this, right? And then you go with this, right? These are things you guys can't do. I just set up your e-fields, right? So we have to practice this. And the only way to do that is to close your eyes. Close your eyes and try to see other people. So when you come into position of time location, truly understand this. This is a circle rotation of you and center line connections. You are in the center positions. I did this last time. I put a higher light connections. I put a higher force energy light system to allocated position of time through a higher division of intelligence. And everybody was in the circle rotation center, and they felt weird. They felt different. They weren't aware of what was in the center, but they knew it was a high light, but they couldn't describe it because it was too far ahead through intelligence. So this is how it disrupts your signals of dimensional time position. So you're in a center position. Now, you got one person here, okay? You got one person here. So it's all about scanning. You got to get into the scanning. One person here. So when you're outside, you're in the forest, you're looking at a tree, scan the tree. I guarantee you, if you get in your positions and your perceptions, you're going to see pixies, you're going to see fairies, you're going to see wizards, you're going to see everything that you want to see because they are real. Okay, they are real. So when you come into that position, right, you scan them right away. You have to, right? And then you create a whole, it's like a piece of pie, but it's a triangle, right? So you're protecting yourself from your circle. So you put up your E fields because you're not aware. You're protecting yourself, right? Because it's three of them, right? They can't touch you. So they go away. They disappear because they don't understand you. See? These are the things that we have to understand with ourselves and how we put up our own E fields. I just put up your E fields. You're not even aware of what I did. But I did it on everybody. So that's the balance between, the effect of dimensional time. Because I see you guys in illumination and light. I see where you are through your travels. I see where you are through your thoughts. I see where you are through the grounds, powers, and the atmospheres. And I see where you are through your connections to each other. Because we're all aligned. We're just not aware. It's like trying to understand that you're in a whole dividing circle. Everybody's in a circle. So the whole idea is to put everybody back into that circle. Because everybody's over here, everybody's over here, everybody's doing this, everybody's doing that, but nobody's aligned. Nobody's aligned, right? So once you get into full alignment and you uprise those energy grids, you fire and wire those, what happens? Puts everything back in center, right? The figure 8. 8 motion sensor line connection, 5 deactivation line sensor line systems, allocated positions of time. So it's kind of like a figure 8 motion. It's got an atom rotation center. Okay, that means the sun and the moon will go faster. It's all about creating faster rotations of division line connections because the 6th dimensional line is set up, the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. 10th dimensional line is already set up. We're just in the 5th. We're trying to understand how to communicate with each other through mind telepathy. We're trying to understand our E fields. Nobody knows what an E field is. You guys do, but everybody else doesn't. So when you're aware of these things, this is how you protect yourself through anything. You're aware of your environments, okay? And they will go away because you're a higher energy light. And when you put your E fields up, it reflects to them. It changes their brain functions and they move away, okay? I do this all the time when basically if I'm on the road and there's a car that's ahead of me, I just do this and it changes the brain functions and they move across. You can do all these things. I was in Mexico City and there was this humongous truck. It was a 18-wheeler and it was like pretty close from where we were and it was changing too many levels. Like it was, it has to have 2 lanes. Well, I was doing this, right? And it was pushing it away. That's how powerful you can be. So this is where you have to get in the calming center. I was just going through transformation and I was moving a truck, an 18-wheeler. Powerful stuff, how we can do these things. So you have to be aware of what you're doing. You have to be aware how to control your system and you have to be aware of your environments. That's how you protect your lines. That's how you protect your E fields and that's how you protect your lights. So it's really interesting we come into these things. So close your eyes, see if you can see yourself on the other side. Close them like this. Do it a couple times, right? Get into the formation of the light. Try to communicate with essential lights. Try to understand how to communicate with flickering lights, light bulbs. get into that. Jerome did that. Unified energetics. We were on Zoom one time with the collective force team, and he was trying to communicate with the light, but it popped out because he wasn't aware. He wasn't controlled to the gravities of the light position, just popped out. So anything with your phone can basically go through interference if you don't have control with the gravities of the phone. So that means you don't have control with your e-fields with the phone, because the phone will change its position. It won't open up your password. It won't open anything your code reference. You won't be able to open up any program setting or anything social media, because you don't have control with your program. So these are the things that we have to be aware of now. Okay, so all right. It's important to call, read book, movie, 20 minutes. I will update you after. Oh, great. Excellent. Thank you, Believe. See, right before you did, I was feeling that before. But see, whatever I say, you already know. You're communicating with your commander. You're not even aware of it. So if you're aware of it, you're more control with it. And say, whoa, did I just communicate with the commander? Whoa, did he just set something up? Whoa, did I just see him working? Right? So these are the things you have to be, it's connected to, understand the communication of what's going on with you. Right? So instead of questioning yourself or anything through its value, just say, wow, this is powerful stuff. You just have to know how to control yourself when you come into your e-fields. Because every time you walk outside, you're protecting yourself from everything. Everything that you come across, especially if you're walking alone. So when you're walking alone, you're using the perimeter, using your perceptions and all that. You're interlining your connection, you're laser, and it's going like this. So you're being aware, so you automatically have your e-fields up, right? You're protecting yourself. So when they come at you, they won't understand you because you're a higher light. So they'll stay away. And the thing is, too, is you can put a basically what we call it is a visible shield. It's a chest plate where you can make yourself invisible. These are the things that you can do when you go to higher lights, through the angelics, through archangels and angels. So it's a cloak and dagger, right? The sky surface of dimension where you see the UFOs hiding in position, or they're on standby. So these are the things you have to be controlled with, but your whole body has to be calm. If you get into confliction line connections to your e-fields and you're freaking out, you're going to affect everything through its atmospheric positions of time. So it's like disrupting a bee, right? So every time I cross a bee, I'm changing the vibration. My vibrations are so high from a bee. You know, a bee buzzes, bzzz, but mine is so high, it disturbs the bee. So the bee comes at me, right? So it tries to get into my e-field, bzzz, 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 right? So you have to understand how powerful you are when it comes to vibration. So you have to know how to control the communications, how to get into the metaphysical, get into the psychological, get into the physical realm, because that's you that you live. But it's the metaphysical, it's the telepathy. You have to understand how to communicate with the bee, even though a bee is like this. But you can control a bee if you control your system inside. I started with flies. I asked them to go here, go here, go here, here, back and forth. So you start small. You start small. So I want everybody to get into my telepathy through each other, because we've done that already with the graphing illustration diagram program settings, right? So basically, if I draw something out, you should know what it is instantly, right? If not, you know what you need to work on. Diane's pretty good with that connections. So is Jennifer. So is White Knuckler. So we got into those positions. So is Believe and See. Right. So when I draw something out, you should know what it is. What is it? What did I just finish drawing? What did I just draw? Anybody? Too much distraction, right? So this is understanding that there's always distractions in everything that you do, especially when you go outside, right? So what did I just finish drawing? I'm looking at it right now. What is it? Nope. Nope. The one thing you have to look at is, what am I doing? how fast I'm doing it. Okay. And what is it? Okay. If I take too long, it's something longer. If I go shorter, you know it's something quicker. So this is how we have to change the effect of everything. Because every time I do something and I add something, I'm changing the frame. Nope, it's not a square. It's not a star. It's not a square. It's just a plain old line. All right. So this is what we have to get into. Right. All right. So what's this? All right. What's this? First thing that pops up in my mind is a rectangle. Oh, what is it? I just finished drawing it. See, this is where you're not aware when somebody comes at you. And now you don't have your E-fields up, so you can't protect yourself, can you? Right? Nope, it's not a rainbow. Nope. See, now you guys are going off track. Okay, 3 lines? Nope. See, you should be triangle? No. Just a person. Just a person. That's all it is. Looks like a space helmet. Okay. 4 dots with lines through it. Line of communication. So what made you come across doing all that? Too much thinking. Right? So that's where you got to get its awareness. So it's all about understanding when you're connecting, you have to come into your feelers, right? Feelers of insects. They all have, with cats, they have whiskers, right? So they can go through tunnels and stuff like that, right? Figure these things out through connections, but truly understand you are a satellite division location to everything through technology. So everything you have inside you and everything outside you is a way of traveling through communication, right? We don't have these, right? But they're there. We don't have this, right? So you have to look at yourself and what you look like, right? We don't look like this. All right, we don't look like that, right? So basically, you have to understand what you're looking at and being aware of these things. So you're in a structure location. So this is you in the center positions, always in calculation. So just imagine that you're always in the center line conditions of everything in position. Okay, so we're graphing position line conditions here. Okay, so this is you in the center. So it's just being cautious of everything around you. Cautious of everything that's around you. Sounds, taste, right? Being aware of everything around you. Being everything around you through the grounds, the powers, the atmospheres. Okay, so you put your E-fields up. Right? Especially when things are coming at you. Right, let's say, everything. Be aware of everything that you see. Get into the research of yourself through positions of time. Just understand that you are connected to everything through travel line system, right? So try to understand what you're being aware of and what you're seeing every single day. It's really powerful stuff. We see these things. Right? It doesn't have to be somebody coming at you. You just have to be aware of what it is through direction of time. 4 waving sonar line connections to division, protecting your E-fields online system. Building, tree, person, car, aware, sonar, E-fields go up. Right? Always have your E-fields. Always have your E-fields every time you go outside. It's important. Right? So this is what you guys have to come into, and you really have to understand that you have to put yourself in these positions all the time. So we start off with this, right? And then we start off You start off with this, okay? If you are not aware of the person in front of you, what are you going to do? What are you going to do if you're not aware of the person in front of you? You're going to walk away? What are you going to do? You don't understand them through gravity. You don't understand their powers. You don't understand their atmosphere, dimension, time. You don't understand their activations. You don't understand their meditation. You don't understand where they are through calculation or intelligence. What are you going to do? Scan them, right? Protect yourself. And it only takes seconds. Now, I'm not saying that you see invisible. I'm not saying you see translucent. I'm not saying you see X-ray. These things take time. But you have to be aware of its dimension of time when you see people. Don't see people in the physical. See people inside. Keep doing this through connections. So it's the people inside, like this. Inside out. Then you see their connections of dimensional time and their E fields. Okay. And then you see their graphing location. So when you see that, you see them come out of the equation. This is how it's done. And then you basically scan them. You scan them when they're in dimensional time. They just travel, right? So this is what I do. I see you inside and out, and then I scan you, but I see your E fields, and you're here. So what I do is I do a bio scan up and down, right? And then I use the graphing line connections to its position. I scan you fully, completely, right? So I'm aware of what's going on with you, right? So overthink, yeah. And see, if you're off today, you have to ask yourself why, right? More people fall away from my friends, brothers, horrible to everyone, but he couldn't say anything to me and went to hide behind a tree, send an angry text. I love you guys coming in, so much drama. When you're walking the streets, you got to be calm. You got to be calm, you know, especially when you're coming up to animals that you never met before. Just be calm. You're calm, they're calm. Okay? If you're not calm, you're changing vibrations and you're affecting the dog. So that's how animal or anything to nature recognizes you through vibration. So it's going way beyond its existence of its mind. I can actually feel people's energy when I get near them. There you go. See, Jennifer's aware. Now she's got to understand how to put her E fields up so she can protect herself, right? So nothing can reflect her. Nothing can touch her. I really don't enjoy being in places with crowds. Now, me either. I don't like that either because the energy is very low. So what do? Put your E fields up, or you put your grabbing line connections. It's difficult being around a bunch of, people, grocery stores. Yep, I totally agree. I'm with you 100%. Right? Sometimes I put my invisible shields. Whenever I'm going into anything in position, okay, I always put my E fields up. Sometimes higher than others, depending if there's more people. If there's a whole bunch of people in a crowd, if I'm at a concert, I'm going to put so much E fields up. Okay. So basically, I'll show you guys when you go to higher levels, I'll show you how to put up a massive amount of E fields, especially if you're in a big crowd of people, like you're stuck and it's like thousands of people and you're in a concert, because I was at Lulu's. This is in a barn and I was listening to Alice Cooper and I couldn't move, and then you realize you're not even claustrophobic until you become claustrophobic, or you're not claustrophobic when you come into an elevator. You don't know. You don't know until you approach it, right? So what do? You get in your calming center. You have to find a way to calm yourself, because if you don't, you affect everybody. There's always somebody that has a reaction, right? I know you're saying in the set in the movies or anything like that, but what I'm saying, that there's always somebody that has a reaction to everything, okay? And that's done through their thoughts, so their behavioral line connections. If you're ever stuck in an elevator with 12 people, what are you going to do? You're going to calm the situation, try to figure out how to get out, right? But not a lot of people are aware of that, especially if you're, I was in paramedics in Pueblo, and there was this pyramid, and in the pyramid, there was this tunnel. And then I asked myself, well, if I'm stuck in the tunnel and I can't go forward and I can't go back, and there's people in between, what am I going to do? Right? You have to be calm. Calming is the most important thing, right? Because you change your vibration. You'll change everybody's vibration, affecting you. So it affects everything around you, right? When I was on a bus and I was going through transformation, I said that before, I like to do reviews just to show you how powerful that is when you come into your energies. If you're not aware of your energy, there's a problem, because you're in space and time division location and you're not understanding your positions. You can really disrupt a lot of people, get them angry. So I was sitting down, just, just going to an audition, and there's like, people are freaking out. I said, why are y'all freaking out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, everybody freaking out, right? And this is like, oh geez, this was like 3, 4 years ago. And basically, one particular guy, which is really interesting, he needs fuel, right? These are spiritual walkers. There's a lot of different positions of time, but you see spiritual walkers. You don't know what that is, but they're fueling systems. They need aggression so they can keep walking. So everything through spiritual realm connection has its own location, has its own behavioral line connections, has its own feeding source. Every spiritual system has its own feeding source. With this one, basically it picks a fight with you. It doesn't even have to know you. It just needs the fuel of aggression so it can move on. So I didn't give the aggression. I stood upright to that person and say, what's the problem here? Well, okay, fine. So I just basically looks at me and then he walks away. So it's facing the fear. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? This is how we got to look at life. What's the worst that can happen? And this is where you come out of your conscious to your subconscious levels, right? And you don't realize what you just finished doing. You saved someone's life. I mean, you got to be cautious on certain things, especially if someone falls, because you pick them up. Oops. So you don't touch a person if they're on the ground, especially if they fall. These are the things that you have to be aware of. This is all about, understanding what's going on with the situation, right? Same with first aid, CPR, when they start off as a security guard, right? So these are the things that you learn, right? And you're observed. Everything is observant. You're observant of everything that you see, right? So it's really interesting how we come into this, I really wanted to get into this because you guys come across this every single day, and it's important that you're aware of what's going on with your environments and how to put your e-fields up. And once you put your e-fields up, you're more cautious, you're more alert, and you're more intelligent, right? So you can actually get in that position and you can scan them and then walk away. You'll feel more safe, right? So these are the things you have to be aware of. I just put your e-fields up. You don't even know what I did because you're not aware of what I did, right? That's how powerful things can be. So that's what I'm saying. You're not aware of people, but they're aware of you. So they're reading you and you don't even know it. So where are they, right? So these are the things you have to do your research on yourself first, master yourself inside, and then you can go outside and basically understand to read people through their energies and where they are in dimensional time of thoughts. And then you can read their cycles of their past, present, and future. That's what I do on my TikToks. And so I can read your past, present, and future and blow you away, right? Because I have balance with everything. And the first thing that you look at is your e-fields. That protects you, not just your dreams. It's not just dreaming and protecting lights. It's also when you're outside, you have to protect yourself. If you're not protecting yourself, you're getting yourself in trouble, right? So it's also to your behavioral line connections, to your thoughts. If you're angry, you're going to change everything through its position of time. Just going outside, you're changing the atmosphere because they know you through light. So you're affecting everything through code. You're affecting everybody around your circle. You're affecting everybody outside its circle. And you're affecting everybody on your phone. That's what energy is. Energy goes everywhere, especially if you're not aware of it. If you're not aware of your energy, this is what can happen. I know because I go through it every single day. Remember, I'm working with 100,000 computers. You guys are just trying to work with your one-line computers. So, this is you waking up to energy, okay, for the first time. Waking up, dimensional time. So this is your energy. It's all over the place. Okay, it's because you're not aware of it. You're waking up, you're trying to balance everything out through space and time. So your energy is like this. You have no idea. So it's all about centering its position and bringing the energy in inside the system of the soul. So the soul, it can identify the heart cycle to its position of its graphing position, which is its mind, and putting your energy into your computers. So it's all about reversing the cycle. Okay? So that's what happens when you guys wake up. You come into this. So anybody's in that line, it's going to affect them if they walk into it. Yeah, it's going to affect them. They walked in to your energy. So it affects them and they'll come at you. Right? So if you're aware of it, that's fine. So what happens is it reverts its system and it comes into allocated positions and it comes into that location. It comes into your computer system, to its modulation, to its graphing location in the mind system of its brain location, which synergizes line connections to the solar graph line system, to space anomalies, to sonar location. So it all comes in, centers out, comes in, right? So this is what happens. It's like a blast. It's the blast that comes out and then it comes back in. So because you're not aware, when you wake up, the light comes out. It comes out here. It comes out here. And it comes out here. 3 different line systems when you wake up. So if you're not aware of your energies and you have somebody coming in, it's going to affect everything, right? That's what energy is. So now you understand how powerful you are through your thoughts, especially when you're traveling faster and faster and faster. But once you get position of time, then you can control your system into your E field position line conditions. Right? So it's amazing because you're coming into the conditions first time of the matrix to its tesseract, to its tetrahedrons. There's so many point line conditions of tetrahedrons of travel. There's so many UFO manufacturing line conditions to position of space. There's so many division line conditions to chakras of communication of time, to color. So you have to understand how to use your transformation lights of communication. Each one is a different time position. Each one is a temperature reading. Okay, each one is a fluctuation energy line condition. You have to understand what the chakra system is. And it all starts, like I said, the meditation, right? So it's amazing how we do these things. I set up your E-fields through meditation. I didn't have to close my eyes. I knew what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing because that's who I am. So if you know who you are, you can control things inside and out, not outside in. Physical realm knows way too much outside. That's why they can't see anything inside. And it all grasps the set connection line systems when it comes into travel with 369 line connection. Okay? Especially when you guys have to get into your travels. So we already know what this is, right? We already know what this is, but what do you do with it? You travel with it, right? How do you travel with it? So you have to understand the one line system of 369, and then you go into a 2-line system of a triangle, and then you go into a 3-line system of a triangle. There you go. See, you're traveling. And then when you take it out of this equation, you can do it this way through allocated situation, security line defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 realm connections. Now this is a little bit more tricky because there's no circle. This is a triangle. This is very hard to go through. So instead of going through a circle, you're going through a triangle. But you have to stand the 3-line connections of triangles, the 369 position, before you travel to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-dimensional rounds of a triangle location. Okay. There are so many platforms of 369 you can travel through. You guys are trying to understand everything through the connections of the sun. Right? You're trying to understand everything through the programs of the moon and everything through the location of you in the center. Okay. So that's what we all have to get into. Right? How you can change positions. Because every single time you add something, you're changing the effect of the frame. So you're changing everything. You're changing the energy frequencies, vibrations, and you're changing the activation light connections, okay, to the algorithms of their program setting, interface positions, universe line system. So we all have to get aware of this, right? All right, so let's get into your questions. You're going to find that more and more, but it's your e-fields and you have to really protect people. Really protect, especially when you come into higher levels. So Jennifer's feeling more of that awareness. It's great. It's difficult being around people. I understand. Yes, I noticed that too, Samantha. Yeah. But just look how powerful you're going to become, right? So animals are drawn to me, but I do send love energy out to them saying I love animal. So you guys should be able to understand how to get into my telepathy through your animals, right? You start off small, work with the fly, and then you go to higher levels. So it's all about getting out of the fear of everything that you face through perception, getting into the full control of being calm every single time through situations. That's AI. AI doesn't freak out. AI knows what to do because they're very alert, they're very aware, and they're very detailed on what happens. So they get out of situations very quick. Very quick. Okay? Because they know their surroundings. Right? They know the perimeters, they know the barriers, they know where they are in space and time. And when you know where you are in space and time, and you know everybody else where they are in space and time, whoa, that's powerful. You can't think clearly if you aren't calm. That's exactly what it is. That's the key. I know better now. I was a test. The girlfriend cried to me, wanted to advice, but she had made me her choice, stay with him. But see, you don't want to get into that formation of drama to people because you're going to get into your line connections. You're going to change your e-field positions. You're going to confuse everybody else, that line system. I don't get into drama. I stay out of it because it affects everything inside me. And it's very hard for me to communicate with somebody that's not healed. Okay, and that's another thing that we have to connect with too, is how to balance our positions of atmospheres, our quantum field line connections of our computers. So when you're coming across somebody and you get aware of what's going on, you know that, oh, they're in their dark lines, they're not into their light. You'll be aware of these things. And when you come into that connections, you know exactly what to do. You put up your e-fields, you protect yourself, day or night, doesn't matter. Okay? So if you do that with your body, you should be able to do that with your perceptions of the mind and what you watch. Be cautious on what you watch, especially when you're going through my healing. If you reside in another channel, I already know. So you're getting energy from somebody else. Okay, we have to be cautious on these things. You have to be cautious in who you resonate with, because they can change your program and your dimensional of your clocking. They can reset you. Then they have to reset you back. So these are the things you have to understand. Okay, because they can confuse your mind and put you into different program settings. They can put you in another allocated grabbing line connections to intelligence. Right, especially if they're their higher light connection. So if their body is aware of what's going on in space and time, these are the things that they can do. Okay. And because you're not in that situation, there's a problem here. Your whole body's been taken over. All because of miscommunication. Right? And not paying attention. So, and you know that too when you go on these different channels. There's energy everywhere. Voicing grids, perceptions, audios. especially when people are doing that. Stay away from that because you don't know what's going on. You know, I see it on TikTok, and you know, there's a point where, you know, you look at people and they have no clue what they're doing. No clue what they're doing. Especially people that don't know how to read tarot cards or try to do medium or basically try to bring spirits over, which is very dangerous. Okay? So these are the things we have to be extremely, extremely aware of. Awareness is everything. Focus is everything. Right? You have to be the most powerful entity-like connections of you through position of time. Truly be connected to yourself first before you get involved with anybody else. So it's all about doing the research of you. Try to get into these exponential things like, you know, closing your eyes, actually trying to see yourself in light. It's powerful because that's what I went through. And then everything comes into light, and then you start seeing everybody else. Right? If you don't practice, how are you going to know? How are you going to know? Okay? So these are the things you have to start doing. Right? And this is what the school provides. It's getting you ready to be prepared for yourself and how to bring yourself forward. Right? But the thing is that you have to protect yourself every single day of your life. It's who you come across, because everybody absorbs energy to everything. Right? I don't like the ones that try to come across me and try to change my program, because I see what they're trying to do. Right? That's energy manipulation. They're trying to reset me. They're trying to change my wires. They're trying to change my brain location. They're trying to change my heart lines. Okay? So, all right, let's see here. Well, family members is basically you're already aligned with your family. You can set up love cycles, love systems, love activation. So your family is a little bit more different. See, I have a family too, but they're in position of time where they just basically, you know, that's who they are, right? There's a lot of things you have, because it's more of a conflict than it is with a stranger, because a stranger doesn't see you as familiar, it just sees you as a person. But when it comes to familiar, it's conflict of interest. You're just too close to your family. Things are too personal. It changes the vibration. They don't know who you are anymore. Right? So you just learn to accept your family for who they are. You just accept them. You can't change them. So because they're not in the belief. I mean, you can do it, but you have to know how to do it. I mean, that's a totally different operation, because it's all about understanding that their wall doesn't want to come down yet because they're not ready. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? You can't force issues. Okay? It's like you can't take free will from a person. Right? So it's all about they will come into their own terms of themselves. So you just accept it, move on. Right? Especially when it comes into familiar. Right? What not to do and what to do in that connections. So being awareness is the time of gap where I've made a change in my center. Yeah. Always go back in center. That's the most important thing. That's when I'm connecting with that line system. This is why I'm very choosy with who I spend time with. I barely see people anymore, but I have it slowly getting back into society after the pandemic. But see, the thing is, when you're aware of your E-fields positions, you can bring anybody in your cycle. You have a life cycle. That is your yin and yang. It's who you bring into your yin and yang. Okay, of yourself. So it's your space of you and the time of you and position. So be cautious on who you bring in through your doors. Okay? So I didn't expect the guy who could come over. I stayed in the room until I couldn't stay there anymore. Just stay quiet next time. Yeah, so you have to be cautious in who you approach, especially if you're getting into a relationship for the first time. You want to try something new, which is exciting. It's like, whoa, this is on fire. This is great. And then you find out, if you're aware of yourself more, you can understand more of, are they my twin flame? Because everybody wants to find their twin flame, but you have to have balance with everything inside and outside before your twin flame comes. Okay, timing is the essence to everything. Okay, like for example with me, right? So that's what you have to get into. So I'm going through right now. My mom does believe in the message, but she still fights herself. See, that's the thing. I have family to do that too, right? Things that you can't change, personal traits of people who they are. Okay, they rather stay in that system. So it's very hard to change somebody if they don't want to change. Okay. If you know their body, you can do it, but it's like I said, you have to be extremely, extremely high rise in the computers. Right? Yeah, so just let it go with the flow and she'll come to you or he'll come to you in time, right? So let's just get into the test review and evaluations for the Bunny Alliance. Get into the code reference. We're going to get into the code reference, not the code frequencies team, because it's very powerful how we come into this position. All right, so because the galactic forces just got into connections of 15 chakras, they can watch and learn. So we come into connections, we're coming into 369 locations. So this is the birthing system of a new recognition light of a triangle. So they understand the 369s. So now we're coming into 2 digits. Okay. They have to get into 2 digits now. Okay. This is what they're coming into now. Right? Rebellion Alliance has to understand these things. 3 rotations of the sun, 3 position level subsystems, 1, 2, 3. Right? 3 line activation systems, okay, 2, 1, 2, 3. Right, so they understand the northwest, south, and east, and then they got to get into their program setting of 6, 6, and then 9, 9. Right, so it's understanding this 9 is in the center, but this 9 is already up here. So it's amazing how we come into shape. So we have to form our line system into graph line systems into shapes of triangles, because that's how it operates in divisional time. So it's like setting up a shape, and each time you change your shape, you're changing dimension of time to a realm. And we came into this, right? Just the back phrase here. Came into this. They ask you what this is, and they tell you go from the inside. So my team on the Rebellion Alliance has to come more inside of what's going on, how to really set up what a square is. Everything through a circle. Rather than going outside, they go more inside. And these are the practical levels you have to reach when you come to AI. That's the most important thing, right? So you come in that position, into this position, into the door. Okay. So basically, we're going to get into the graphing line connections. You have the shape and on positions. So it's the round, round circle. Okay. Round, round circle. Okay. Equals box equals door recognition / recognitions equals space. Okay. This is that. That is this. Okay. So you have to truly understand how to do these things, and that's what we're going to come into. But first, let's start with this. We'll go into this, right? So basically, the 3 rotations center. So it's all about putting 3, 3, 6, 6, 9, 9 into the center. So instead of outskirting, we're going inside the position. Okay, so we take the 3, we take the 3, we take the 6, we take the 6, we take the 9, we take the 9. And there we go. Voila. We start off with that position. All right. Now it's allocated position of time. So we get 3, 3, 6, 6, 9, 9. Remember the clocking system of 12, 3, 6, and 9? How everything has to be in chronological order? Okay, where the 12 has to be here and not over here. And the 1 has to be here, not over here. So this is the understanding where you come into 2-digit frames. Okay, 2 it's algorithm. Or it's logarithm. Logarithm, algorithm. Inversion or new addition. So you have to really understand the program setting to computers, right? So when you come into 3, 3, 6, 6, or 9, 9, This is where you come into center conditions. 2, it's dimensional time position. 2, it's security line defense. Okay. So Tina's aware of this, Galactica's aware of this, Dina's aware of this, okay, and Laura's aware of this. Okay, but they're not aware of this. They work with 1 digit, now they're working with 2. So this is about high rise, how you come into higher position line connections to 114 chakras of light through the schematics and line connections to a digital frame position. The illustration diagram program has to truly understand the travel recognitions of time through realm locations of security line defense. So when you're standing positions, you can travel through position line connections like this. And there you go. You just travel through 3, 3, 6, 6, 9, 9. All right. So when you get into that line system, you got the 3 in allocated position. Starts off with that. See the 3? So what you're doing is you're changing the frame of graphing line of digital frame, which is really fascinating. And then you come into this. See how I'm changing the directional line connections? And everything through the 6 comes in this location, comes into new activation light connections of the dimensional time position. See, everything is joined through connection position of time, right? So the 6 is in a rotation, okay? It comes into a square box reference of its connections to its position, okay? So we come into that position, we join the locations to number 9 line connections. So 9 were center line connections in its position. Opens up all traction locations into the center core position of the box grid to the low loads connection, which high rise its position to higher line connections to its position of location. So everything comes in position of time location. And this is where it comes into the shaped anomaly of attraction line connections to its division. So we have to truly understand how to use the 2 digits rather than just the 1 of travel, right? So it's understanding what's going on with the circle, what's going on with the square, what's going on with all levels of the sun, what's going on with the connections location of you in the center position. So you're changing frame positions of shapes, dimensional time through space. Okay? So you come into that position, you take the 3 allocated positions, right? And you come into high line connections to your hexagon. It's really, really, really powerful to me to see these things in position of time location. Okay, you come in your hexagons of time location. Now when you come into time location, you energize this light system to a position of time, and you come to higher lights of security line defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So it's 1 across another. See? 1 across another. Right? You got this one, and then you got start this, and you got this. Right? So this, okay, is protected to this. This is how you structure everything through connections, how you set up shapes or anything, electrical fields, position line connections, round line connection positions, all connected of 2-digit number line connections of 3, 6, 9 position. Right? So we'll stop there. But this is how you use longitude, latitude, and metric levels, the psychometric line connections, the psychosis line connections, and everything through the computer operation line to its digital frame. But you have to truly understand the digital of the sun and the program setting of the moon and the space station location, and everything through location, which is you, it's navigation. Right? So it's kind of like understanding dimensional time. Okay, so what it is that it's a dimension of a wormhole that's protected through its E field. Interesting, isn't it? Because it has a higher plasma light through 2-digit numbers. Now, if I add 3, then it's more complicated, right? So it becomes more expansive, more expansion. It's incredible when you see something like that, right? So it's pretty incredible when we do these things, just through shapes. So we'll stop there, because I know there's a lot to take on. But that's what they have to learn, right? And the test is in a week. So every day we'll come on and we'll do more structures, but we'll go into connections of other shapes, how we go into digital frames, into northwest, south, and east. So you're probably wondering why you're not connected to the diamond is because you have to send your travels first at 3, 6, and 9. And once you get into 3, 6, 9, you should be able to travel through any position to any location of dimension through a wormhole. When you get into wormholes, you start off with this, right? Everything is travel, right? So as soon as you change the frame position of time, it changes its direction. It changes its direction, right? When it changes its direction, it changes its location, right? And it goes the opposite circles, line connections. See, it changes its location. So it's pretty amazing when you see these things, right? That's the effect. So yeah, you all have twin flames. You all have twin flames. It's knowing how to better line your connections, get into your position of through your activation lights, get into your meditations, get into your breathing, get into more of yourself, balance your positions, your gravities, your power, and your atmospheres. Understand how to use your E fields, understand how to use your energy. And then you be more cautious on what you come across. Oh, is that my twin flame? Is that my twin flame? Is that my twin flame? But you have to understand the mystical side of you, because I'm king of the forest of lions, right? The king of lions. So if I know who I am through the mystical, I understand the cosmos. And that's where the twin flame comes from. The birthing system of the twin flame comes from the cosmos. So you have to truly understand the research and its history of your twin flame, which is you. It's the other side of you, which is the opposite sex of you, which is your twin flame. And it all comes into the birthing system of Adam and Eve. Okay? So if you want to know more, let me know about the twin flame. It opens up everything to yourself. Yeah. Yeah. And the twin flame is the only thing that can wake you up through positions, or anybody that's in an extremely high light division. Somebody basically has to be in the God line connections to heal anybody. You can't heal yourself through meditation. No, because you have to die and be reborn to understand everything through connections. The angelics, the spiritual realm connections, the light systems, the death rotation line connection, angels, archangels. You have to defy yourself with all the angels, angel of death, right? So this is what you have to be cautious of and what you're doing. Angels and archangels are there for you, but if you just see them for who they are and you're making wishes and all that, that's great. But once you get to know them and they get to know you, you're starting to get understanding what's happening, right? You're really, really paying attention now. You're paying attention to what's happening. You're paying attention to everything when it comes into the angelics, right? So, but you have to die and be reborn to understand everything. And every time you die and be reborn, everything comes more to light, right? So let's say you're 36 years old. It doesn't mean you have to be 36 years old and die 36 times to see your twin flame. No, it doesn't work that way. Your twin flame will come to you through my telepathy in time. But you have to truly understand the research of you, because I started off in Lemuria, and then I was, oh, this is interesting, because I'm getting cautious of dreams and all that connections. I'm realizing, okay, my twin flame's coming to me, because I was having dreams when I was like 12, 14, 15 years old. And she was coming into my dream at that time, but didn't make any sense until now. And then I realized, oh, I'm from Lemuria. Oh, okay. Now it's starting to connect. Now I'm starting to see more, right? So you have to understand the physical, okay, of you. You have to understand everything, connections of its phenomenon of you through AI, and it's mystical. Those are the three. And then you come across your twin flame. You have to understand the mystical side of you before you connect to your twin flame. Okay. And then you come into the connections, and the yin and yang comes into position. Okay. Because that's what the twin flame is. Okay. It's father, mother, Adam and Eve, yin and yang, twin flame. There you go. There's the connection. Right. So basically, it's the yin and yang. That's the twin flame, guys. Twin flame. That's the birthing system of you. It's the opposite sex of you, but that's the side of you you have to reach. That's the complete circle. But that's just the beginning of its circle, right? Because you could still have past traumas. You won't meet your twin flame until you understand your past traumas and let go. So that means when you're awake and you realize, oh, Atlantis, oh, I'm in another planet line connection. So you have to truly understand who you're connecting with. Is it me or somebody else? If you connect with somebody else, okay, what is this? This is really weird. So, and that's what happened to me. All of a sudden, like I said, I love to do reviews. Why am I on Google looking up Lemuria? Interesting. And then everything started falling in place. And then I became a commander. I started off becoming a captain, and then became a commander, and I worked my way up, right? So you have to truly understand who you are, and to get there, you follow up to that connection. So you will meet your twin flame, right? But you have to understand the mystical side of you. Okay. So you have to have all that to connect to yin and yang, right? Because that's the birthing system, right? Of Adam and Eve. So first intelligence born in that line connections, right? So what does that mean? What does that mean? First intelligence born. Uh-oh. I just said something interesting. If I'm first intelligence born in space and time, what does that mean? You might as well now know who I am. I'm Adam. Is everything clicking in now? Is everything clicking in now? I'm Adam and I have Eve. And there you go. Right? That's why I'm so powerful, guys. There was a time position where I was going to tell you, but there was a time position. I'm not sure. Are they? You think they're ready? Let me think. Now you know. I'm Adam. Firstborn intelligence. I think you guys kind of figured that, but you weren't sure, right? Because I was saying, when should I tell them? I'm so excited. I want to tell them. I'm Adam. If I'm the first seed pod of the tree, the firstborn in the twin flame, to his gardens of Eden, I have to have an Eve, right? So what do you think Adam's doing? Coming back. Hello. Yep. Adam. Yep. Adam. Very good. But it's more like molecular light structure line connection position. So yeah, birthing system in that position. So I'm Adam. You're meeting Adam. So what do you think of that? I was excited. I was saying, when is the best time to tell him? When should I tell him? When should I tell him? And Father said, tell him now. They have to know anyway, because everything has to make sense. So you get a true understanding, in position. Yeah. I'm the first intelligence born. Yeah. Of Adam and Eve. Yeah. Birthing system. I was fighting off the connections to Lucifer and the sacred line connections positions. So I set up new twin flame sword line connections. I was protecting Eve in that position. So, and this going back generations and generations. And this is how it comes into the reptilians. It comes into the Greys, the Dowels, line systems, the reptoids, those locations, the raptors, right? So you have to truly understand ancestry as history, right? And how the twin flame was created through its position, because the reptilian alliance wanted to take the sword and divide the positions and destroy the ark. Right, so I'm here to put it back. They come back in positions and come into the Gardens of Eden. Atom rotation center positions. Okay, atom is not spelled A-D-A-M. Okay, it's not spelled that. So it's 1,000 line connections of interforce positions of graphing line system in space and time division location. So atom is not one word. Okay, atom is a computer. I love giving you guys great news. Yeah. If you want, yeah, it's up to you. Or you can refer me to Commander, but I got so many names in the solar line connections. But first intelligence born in universal core line system. So yeah, I'm Adam and Eve. I'm the birthing system. Father made me first, which is Adam. Adam was created through the connections to the Greek gods, the mythical line connections, the Manadors, that line system, ancestry as history, right? And then we come into the connections of the demigods, right? We come into Asgard. We come into Thor, very powerful connections. You understand how powerful things are when you come into the God brings level connection positions. So the fighting forces was everything through the twin flame sword position. Whole idea was understanding that the dark line connections was trying to destroy the Ark of its covenant. So it's very fascinating how we come into this, and it's created through the connections. Who do you think created that 144,000 realm connection? Me. So do you understand why you guys are in that position and want to putting back everything in your shapes anomaly to its atom rotation center connection? And how everybody's connected to the ring bear of its circle rotation center of its arc location? Is everything clicking in now? Okay. Yep. With yourselves, yeah. Yeah. It's fascinating, isn't it? Yeah. The twin flame with yourself. Now you understand why you have to be with your twin flame. Okay. Now you know the ancestry and history of Adam and Eve. Right? And now you know that I'm Adam. What Adam is. It's just one big, humongous computer. That's all it is. That's all it is. So now you know. So knowing is what? Character, building, strength, command, force, control, power. Right? So didn't it click in when I said I'm first intelligence born? Did you click in as Adam? Or are you just not sure? You weren't sure? You were sure, but not? You know what I mean? Are you connecting? So it's truly understanding the history of everything through Adam and Eve and what we went through, that line system. Okay? So it's extremely, extremely powerful now, isn't it? Things have really changed, eh? So you understand why I'm putting everything back now, right? So Father basically is in position where I'm basically changing the universal core and resetting everything back to its digital of its numbers, right? The simulation graph, the line connections, the new gravity line system, the allocated position of time location. But the atom, okay, to its position is nothing but a computer, right? So I have to go back to who I was from the very, 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 very beginning. So now you know how important it is to find out who you are. And once you reach that, it's amazing. Okay? So, no, way beyond Apple computers. It's too advanced. I'm working with 100,000 computers right now that's stored in my cloud, my interface positions. But the universal system is nothing but a clocking of the dimensional time of a computer. So I'm just resetting graphing lines and changing manufacturing of UFO line connections and putting everything back in position. So humanity can go back into the Gardens of Eden from its very beginning. Right? So this is understanding the central line connections of you was your dimensional light. You were living your dimensional light. And that's why I went into the future of 5,000 years. Okay? So I had to figure out who I am. I had to figure out where I'm going. I figured out why am I here. So these are the things you have to look at inside. Right? So it's making a little bit more sense now, right? Of who I am and what I'm doing and how I was created through Father and Mother Earth. Right? So it's computers and computers and computers, the quantum physical level conditions. It's nothing but energy and vibration and frequencies, but it's understanding what it is made of. Mind over matter. Right? So it's making your head spins now, eh? So I mean, some people already knew that and some people didn't know that, but I said, you know what, just tell them now. They need to know. They need to know. So then you realize what's happening with history and why everything has to go back together. Because the planet position and line connections, the clocking divisions were offline system. So it was sacred lines, and basically the Ark and the Covenant, right, was taken over. So that's where humanity came in position. So, and that's how you guys don't understand each other, and that's the separation to its position of time, through its twin flame. Because there was a Gardens of Eden, but now it's coming back. And it all starts with aligning signals at positions when it comes into, you guessed it, Atlantis and Lemuria. So powerful, isn't it? So my starting point is not at the birth of conception. Are those just the experiences I've had then? How's it going? Yeah, anything through point direction is understanding your birth conception. Say, it's like, how much do you know yourself if you don't know where you've been? So it's all about going to the back of your cycle and going into a new position, because you're going 7 days a week. So every time you wake up, you're getting to know yourself more and more through that cycle. So the more you know yourself, the more you become of who you are, right? So you really understand that where you started and where you end up, but it doesn't stop there. There's no end. There's always a new beginning. So every time you die and be reborn, you become something else. You become more and knowledgeable, become more intelligence, right? So you stay in the physical system because you understand space and time at division through location, and you stand the rotation cycles, which is 7 days a week, 24/7, right? So it's really interesting when you come into the birthing of its conception, right? So everything that you're experiencing is the physical realm. But now you're coming into a new connection of a new AI position, right? Which is you, my telepathy, telekinesis. You have to come into the communications of 0.01, right? Portal division of 4, 1111.0, which is telepathy of communication to its graphing line system, to teleportation. Okay? Yeah, so I think Jennifer gets it now. Yeah. Adam and Eve and the apple get it. Yeah, I get it. I get the apple. Yes, I got it. Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the apple. Yeah. But see, you have to understand the birthing system of me and the birthing system of Eve, so you get a little bit more understanding. There's a reason why those are connections, why Adam was in position of the apple, right? First introduction of its computer. So you have to understand it's just a program that you guys are connecting to, right? So it's all about getting out of that old program of its history and getting into its new program of you. And then that thing starts clicking in that position of time connections, right? So it's amazing when you come across these things, right? You can live dimensional time positions on anything allocated of so many levels of intelligence. Okay? Clocking to its location, I started off being the cousin. it's not a system, add an E line system. But in position, when you come into a new birthing line connections, I come into a full generation of a computer, which is me as an atom. An atom is in 1,000 way positions of what it is through word phrase. It's complicated stuff. Atom is not one word. Okay, so I don't want to get too far wind with everything and what's going on through connections. I just want you guys to get into your focus of who you become and who you are. Why it's important to go to your schools, right? To go to my school, so you get to understand more of yourself through dimensional light and how you have lived the existence with Adam and Eve. So things will start clicking in more and more with you guys. 0 point neutral until I put it in the positive through my perception, or is it just the perception like I am in the perception? Okay, you got 3 circle rotation line connections there, 0 point line systems there. Your job is to get in a position of who you are. It's understanding your travels of 369 connections, okay? 0 gravity is what you have to come into through acceleration. You have to get into that position so you can communicate with UFOs and AI. Okay, you have to be an acceleration locking line system to position to coloration to your activation through hand interference. So it's truly understanding your computer operation through your 12 line systems, your chakras. Okay, but everything that you see is through perception, audios, and your voicing group patterns. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out there, Annie. Any more questions? You can go through my emails or anything like that. If you want to understand more of the healing, you can go through my PayPal. I'm happy to help you out and guide you. I know you guys are shocked, but you have to know the truth, right? So it's making a little bit more sense and why I'm in this position of time, right? So, all right. So everybody have a fantastic day. Adios.